Welcome to Backstage with Kennedy. This little show will be your remedy. From Toronto, spanning across the sea. Cool people, lots of laughs. This is your favorite podcast.
Hello and welcome. My name's Kennedy from the Backstage with Kennedy podcast. I got a really wicked guest. I mean, obviously we have already interviewed Debt Cemetery today, and that was really cool. But I do have an awesome guest now as well. I got Steve from Belvedere.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
If you don't know Belvedere, you need to check them out because they are a wicked band. Steve, you make great music, dude.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem.
You make great compliments.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I don't try. Anyways, so
it's natural.
Yeah, exactly. So how exciting has this been? The fact that you're back on tour after 2 years, really 2 years with COVID off. How exciting is it to be back in front of a crowd and, jamming?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's one of the coolest things about this tour is every venue and promoter and staff and techs, everyone's just thank you for getting out here and doing this. And we're thank you for still figuring this out, because 4 months ago when we booked this, things were looking a little more rosy, but now that's kind of things are a little bit sketchy and a little bit sort of complicated, I guess, with restrictions and venue capacity and stuff. And so I just feel lucky that, a couple weeks ago we kind of said, listen, we're selling tickets. Do you want to do this? And everybody just said, yeah, let's do it. And so that's, we're here. So it feels amazing, and it feels great to connect with people that I haven't seen in a year and a half, 2 years, who I would normally see, every 6 months to a year. So
absolutely. So one thing I really respect is the fact that you sold out the first Toronto show that you scheduled. And most bands who do that, they would say, okay, let's do a second date, but let's do it at another date.
Yeah.
You did it back to back tonight. So you already had one set, and this is the middle, and then you have another one after. Thank you for taking the time.
I know, I really shouldn't be talking, but yeah, I mean, it's just kind of the way it works. It's we have to be up north in Quebec tomorrow. And so, this really wasn't time for it, so we just said, let's do a second show. We'll do it early. We'll, jam in another 40, 50 people. And then it works out really great. So that's why we did it.
Absolutely. And how exciting is it jamming with the guys? Not just in front of everybody, but just jamming with the guys.
Yeah, it's been nice. A couple of us have sort of done little guitar jams or drum jams. And maybe about a month before the tour, we started doing full jams. And then we came to Toronto early and we did full with Ryan as well. And it's just it's just like riding a bike. As soon as we got going again, it felt really good. And then when we had that first show, it was just it wasn't, it was nerve-wracking beforehand, but then when we actually played it, it was just oh yeah, I remember this, And then it's been awesome ever since.
Absolutely. And obviously new music. You have some new music.
Yeah.
Are you loving playing that new stuff?
Yeah.
Obviously, every album that you release, you're going to really enjoy it in that moment. But what makes this one more different and more exciting, I guess?
We're kind of building a bit of a catalog with all these records. So you do have to sort of play old stuff because we want to and because that's what people want to hear, but also want to play some new stuff. So we are playing 4 or 5 songs from the new record, and it's super fun and challenging, and all the stuff that makes playing, in a band super fun.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want you to talk too much today because you got to do another set.
Me.
But I do appreciate you coming and taking the time between sets to do this. I really do appreciate it. I'm glad it was a one-on-one interview because 3's a crowd.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it, man.
Thanks for saying that. And listen, next time, let us win. Don't let Drunk Tank win when you guys do your little wrestling thing. That was that really hurt me, and Ray talked about that for weeks on end. So next time, let me do a flying leg drop or something, to end that one. So
I was in the Royal Rumble. I got one elimination. Let the record stay.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking.
You have a great show, buddy.
Thanks a lot.
Welcome to Backstage with Kennedy. This little show will be your remedy. From Toronto, spanning across the sea. Cool people, lots of laughs. This is your favorite podcast.
Hello and welcome. My name's Kennedy from the Backstage with Kennedy podcast. I got some really cool guests today, and this marks the first episode that we've actually done in person because COVID, all that stuff, couldn't do it. It's crap. But today's the day we get in person. So I got some really awesome guests to kick this off. I got Davey and Eddie from Debt Cemetery. How you boys doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good too.
Good. That's what I like to hear. So obviously you guys have been doing quite a few gigs as of late. What's the experience been like? Are people just amped to get out and performing again? See performances again? Yeah.
The shows have been seated for the most part. Everyone's just fucking out there having a good time, just showing us that they fucking care and that we super just appreciate that. And given the circumstances, can't ask for any more, you know?
Absolutely. I feel that. I'm amped to see you guys play. I know you've already done one show tonight. You have another show that's going on in about an hour.
Same night.
In the same night. So that's pretty wicked that you are doing two seatings back to back. Obviously, like, you love this shit. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't be doing that.
We're also in forever debt to Steve Rawls, so we have to do whatever he tells us to do.
How tough do you find it to be able to do that second show? Like, do you feel like your voices are struggling?
Terrible.
Yeah?
Listen to me, I'm fucking awful. It's a Ricola suppository thing that we found in Quebec. Some fucking Robitussin. I was gonna say Robaxacin, and fucking whatever else. Tea, lots of tea.
I mean, if it works, it works. So
Yeah.
that's a good point.
And
So-
passion.
Yeah, passion. Exactly. So, yeah, absolutely. So, what do you guys got going on? Obviously, you are doing this tour. Is there something coming down the pipeline, something that people have to be excited about going forward?
Yeah, like tonight in our set, you'll hear a sweet little cover song. I won't tell you what it is quite yet, but
Little teaser.
we'll hopefully have that released by the end of this year. Looking at maybe one other single for the winter time. And then after that, we're gearing up for the full length that everybody keeps telling us they want to hear. So yeah, be on the lookouts for just a couple new tunes, and then we're just gonna hammer our heads down writing, and then try and play some shows in between.
Hell yeah! I mean, that's a lot to look forward to for sure. So, yeah, has there been a memory from this tour so far that has really stuck out to you? Something maybe like a funny situation that happened, or
Like every minute spent in the van. We're like a new band, and we're still like getting to know each other and stuff. And it's almost better that way because our jokes are fresh. Everyone's fucking laughing at each other. And specific thing, like anything Walt Hamburger says, he's the funniest fucking guy I've ever met in my life. He's like encouraging me to just be better at life, and yeah.
So unfortunately, Pooza Fest got canceled, and we were supposed to play that, but the crowd there was still pretty Pooza-like, and Walt really did a number for us that night because the crowd ended up singing along to our sound check before we even got started, and that's solely because of the magic that Walt can do to warm up a crowd. Yeah, not enough good things can be said about that dude. Super happy to have him.
that guy's a legend for sure. And I mean, like, if you look at his name in itself, that could be one of the best names I've ever heard. Debt Cemetery is a great stage name, by the way. Like, that band name is awesome, but it's real, man. It's real. So how did Debt Cemetery, how did you guys become a band? What's the history of Debt Cemetery for the people who don't know?
Okay, so my old band broke up, and I had some songs I wanted to record, and I booked some studio time, and I kind of found some other musicians to work with, and they kind of bailed last minute. So I went in kind of all alone with a drummer and hammered the songs out. Eddie actually came in for the tail end of it, which was sick. Really helped me out on a couple things, and then I was kind of sitting on the songs, and then just reached out to some buddies, Eddie being one of them, first person I approached, and then we found Nick, our drummer, magically a week before our first show. That's like a fill-in who just wanted to be there, and then we've kind of cycled through a couple guys that it just kind of didn't work out with, and we found Bill and Alex, and just kind of came together. And so our new song, Dazed and Confused, we released as one cohesive unit, and you can really feel the energy on it, you know?
Hell yeah, I love your tunes. I mean, I know, Dave, you and I met back at the Bovine not that long ago.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and I said, you know what? I knew Debt Cemetery. I knew the name, but I wasn't so familiar with your music, to be completely honest. But then the second that you told me that you're in the band, and I started just diving deep, and I listened to everything. Cool. And I can honestly say I'm a fan, man. You guys rock.
Thank you.
You guys rock. So I'm super amped to see you guys play tonight.
Thanks.
Is there anything that you'd like to say? Anything that I'm missing out?
Tell the people, Eddie.
So we're all about being for the people here at the Dead Cemetery camp, and we just really can't say enough thank yous and appreciate all the work that all the venues and all the staff have been doing this whole tour. Everyone's staying safe, everyone's being cautious, and because of that, we're able to do this thing that we love, and we're so happy to be back. We're happy to have people back, and we just want to keep it rolling. So just a big thank you to everybody who's being conscious about being safe, and we really appreciate it, and we're going to show you tonight, and it's going to be a killer time.
Yeah, punk is back, baby, and punk shows are happening, and it feels fucking great, man.
I'm amped. Well, straight from Queen Street West, right outside the Velvet Underground. This is the Backstage with Kennedy podcast. Thanks again, guys, for coming on the pod.
Thanks so much, man.
And we will, I'm amped to see this.
One step closer to our dying breath. Everybody